the rumors are true that that might be one of the longest setups for one of the best, uh, deep cut, payoffs that I don't know how many people that will appreciate that, but I do. Bill, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
All right. Oh, all right. Nice to see you, man.
So I wouldn't say that The Addams Family 2 is necessarily a horror film, unless you're horrified of families and road trips or something like that. But it is definitely spooky, creepy, and kooky. Uh, when you look back towards like your own childhood, do you remember the first horror film you saw? Like whether it was appropriate for your age or something that you were not prepared for?
Oh man, you know what? I should try to find. I actually looked it up and I found it, but I forget the name of the movie. But there was a trailer for a horror film in the early '80s, and I remember there was just an image of a school bus going into um like fog, and then zombies, like kind of zombie uh on the school bus. Like they went into the fog and all the kids turned into zombies. I think that was it. But I remember seeing that commercial and being like unable to sleep. And then the first like proper uh horror film I remember kind of watching outside of like old monster movies and stuff, but one that I was like not supposed to watch was probably Lost Boys. I
It
was 9 when that movie came out.
That movie's so good.
Yeah,
Too.
great movie. It's still a great movie. Yeah, it's great. It's really fun and it's really, uh, yeah, that's a touchstone from anybody in my generation is that movie.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to Adam's Family, more specifically, since there's been the cartoons, the TV series, the live action movies, do you remember like what your connection was to the Adams Family before getting actually involved in it?
Well, I remember watching the original TV show like on Nick at Night, and then the Barry Sonnenfeld movies in the '90s. I was like perfect age for that, and then um, so I love those. I love the acting in those. It was really fun. And then and Joan Cusack was in the second one. She was really funny. And then when the first animated movie came out, I watched that and really liked it. So, but yeah, it was really nice to get the call to, say, "Do you want to play this mad scientist?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Well, and when it came to actually like developing the voice for a character, like whether you're developing a voice for your character in Adam's Family 2 or another animated project that you do, is it the type of thing where like it's just kind of like a gut instinct thing of okay, this is what I think it would sound like? But
It is a gut instinct thing when you're doing these. It's like they show you a picture of the character and say he's a mad scientist, and then you just try some things and you work with the director and you find it. And this one was pretty easy. I worked on other jobs where it's harder, and jobs where you've gone one direction for a couple of sessions and they say, you know what, this isn't working. We got to go, another way.
and so with the actual look of your character, were there many like tweaks or did you get to have any sort of say or like input like here's 5 characters that were kind of in this range and you kind of gravitate towards one and that
Oh, no, 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 they have it. It's all done. It's like they have a scratch track to it, so they have someone else doing the voice, and I'm watching, uh, uh, story reels, which is like, not animated, but like storyboards that they cut together. So, like the character design's already gone, and then it's about finding a voice for what they created.
well, and since so much of the movie, obviously it's about like family dynamics and having a found family versus like a blood genetic family. With the rest of your co-stars, all the other voices on this series, such a road trip is a big concept. Which of your co-stars would you most like to go on a road trip with?
I mean, I love to go with Charlize in the big rig from Fury Road. Be awesome. She wouldn't even need the mechanical arm or whatever. I mean, I just think that would be, and we could just go in the city. We don't need to be just like driving around the city, having to take like needing help to take turns and stuff. You know, being that truck that has to inch its way. Like just have a slow, nice outing.
Yeah, just a casual. You don't have to go to Bullet Town.
No, 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 not Bullet Town or anything. Yeah, just a very nice, casual, windows down drive. Yeah, go to Burbank, go go through, go through the drive-through some place and just try to manage that. And, you know, just a nice little outing.
I don't think the clearance will accommodate, but
I didn't count on anything. But that one, we should just take everybody, bring Oscar and Finn and everybody. Just happy to drive us around. I think that'd be cool.
and since it's in theaters, it's on demand, so folks can, kind of get in the spirit of Halloween. Um, when it comes to like how you normally celebrate Halloween, what do you have specific traditions that you do every year?
I just like watching the old horror movies on TV. I mean, that's kind of like every Halloween night, I usually have like this TCM playing all night, or you know, that's what I get. That's what I love is now with all the streaming services, it's like Halloween, so they're kind of horror films I've forgotten about will pop up on your thing, and you're like, oh yeah, I should watch that. I haven't seen that in years. Um, but and Criterion Channel has all the great Universal horror movies up, and so yeah, I'll watch those.
And lastly here, just since I know you are such a huge horror fan and you were in the kind of reboot new adaptation. This is a new adaptation of Addams Family. I know like you love The Howling. You've talked to Andy Muschietti about that. Like, do you have another horror movie, especially since you've gotten into directing, writing, like with Barry? Like, do you have a horror movie that you really feel like needs to be revived for a new generation?
No, no, I'd rather yeah, figure out something original, and I those are the ones, the stuff that I've really been digging is like I enjoyed the film It Follows when it came out, and there's a movie Raw that came out that I liked, and another one I like called Relic with Emily Mortimer. I thought was great. Um those are the films that oh, what was Brandon Cronenberg's movie?
Possessor.
That was great. But those are the ones that get me kind of stoked on Wart. I just think that people are making really interesting. And this year's, I thought Raw was great. And obviously, like, Get Out was great. And then the stuff Ari Aster is doing, Hereditary, Midsummer, I thought were fantastic. And so, yeah, those are the ones I'm into a lot.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat. So happy that this film's out there and folks can check it out. And I'm going to see Houseu this weekend on the big screen. So I'll be thinking of you, buddy.
Nice, man. Nice. That's a great one.
Thanks so much.
All right. See you, pal.
Okay. Nick, thank you for taking the time to chat with me today about Addams Family 2. Just to get it out of the way, I know there's lots of rumors, so hopefully you could kind of clear things up. Is it true that the studio originally wanted Gil Faison to voice Uncle Fester, but when he found out there were sequels, he said that's too much cartoona? That is the rumors are true that that might be one of the longest setups for one of the best uh deep cut payoffs that I don't know how many people that will appreciate that, but I do, and I know Gil does when someone prints out the transcripts to this because he no longer has internet. Well, thank you so much for clarifying that. That's all the time we have, unfortunately, because of that setup. Uh, but no, with this Addams Family, it's lived in comics, it's lived in animation, it's lived in live action. With Uncle Fester, if they came to you and said, like, you know what, we really love this cast, we want to like expand it into live action, would you be interested in doing something like that, knowing that there'd be probably 15 hours of makeup to get you to look like Uncle Fester?
If they wanted to like Mark Ruffalo and dot me up and I would be down for that. Having spent 4 hours a day of makeup to do the hit series Caveman on ABC. Um, I have some PTSD from the makeup chair. But I love playing Fester. And I would love to be doing. I would love to perform this alongside Oscar and Charlize and Chloe, and I'd be curious how they would have Snoop Dogg in this one in the live action version. But if I mean, Snoop seems to be down to do the work, so I would love to do it. Yeah, I mean it's and that's the beauty of animation is you can kind of be anywhere and do it and not have to be in 10 hours of makeup a day, to be in prosthetics, to be in a big suit and a bald cap. But playing Uncle Fester's been a joy, and as you mentioned, it's like this such a long history franchise. To be a part of it feels pretty awesome.
And speaking to its comic book history, I know everybody was kind of shocked when like Kumail came out and was completely shredded to do a comic book movie. And so for you, would you be interested in devoting, the next 3, 4 years to zero carbs and just getting absolutely shredded to play a comic book character, or do you think you'll just kind of stick with comic book voices?
I mean, it being doing comic book voices is a lot easy. I can still eat cheeseburgers and fries. And Kumail might have a cheat day along the way to do that. I think he has his cheat days. Um, Dude, the voices are easier to do. But maybe to play Uncle Fester, if there was a movie, maybe I wouldn't do prosthetics. I would just allow myself to just get after it, and like Rob McElhenney did in on Always Sunny. Maybe when he was Fat Mac, maybe I would take that approach. I appreciate how Kumail went for it and committed, and I might go for it and commit just the opposite way, just become a big old round boy like that.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. Super excited for more folks to see the movie.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take it easy. Bye bye.